What's up, everyone? I'm Cardi-C, the baseball card collector, and today we're talking COMC, the top 10 reasons to sell on COMC, and 5 tips and tricks that I think you should keep in mind. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here is the top 10 reasons to sell on COMC and the top 5 tips for sellers. As we're going through this, I have a 200 card order that I am submitting to COMC myself, so we'll just flip through these guys in the background. But our number one reason to sell on COMC is that you are paying for someone to list the cards for you. If you've ever sold on eBay or Sportlots, you very well know how long it can take to list the cards, list out the product description, come up with what shipping modes you'd like to make available to the buyer. It just takes a long time. And for a low fixed fee, COMC is willing to take care of that for you. So that's number one. Number two are the low fixed fees that you can expect when selling on COMC. So COMC's primary source of revenue is the submission fee. The submission fee. So if you're submitting a card like this from 2019 Top Series 1, you can expect to pay around 30 cents per card. Excuse me. So 30 cents per card for submission fees on current year cards. COMC also has some add-ons. Graded cards are additional 30 cents. Jumbo or booklet cards or any other non-standard sized card is 60 cents a piece. If you send in top loaders, they'll charge you a nickel to remove them. So you just gotta keep an eye out for those types of things when you're making your submissions and putting them together. And then the other thing, which is fairly new, is they are planning on charging a 5% transaction fee. And that's just because they are looking for ways to lower their cash out fee. 5% is still half of what you can expect when selling on eBay. So the fees are lower and the system's a little bit easier to understand in terms of how they're actually making money and what to expect when you're selling from a fee standpoint. So number 3, and this is probably the biggest thing for me, is the privacy for the seller. If you're uncomfortable putting your home address on the return address portion of the package you're shipping out, I don't blame you. It can be sort of intimidating to provide that information to total strangers if you're selling something over eBay or you're going through with a trade with someone you met on Twitter or Instagram. Sometimes buying a P.O. box can be up to $100, $150 a year. And if you're not doing a high volume of buying and selling cards through those outlets, it might not make sense to pick that P.O. box up. So through COMC, their business model is set up so that you can ship all 200 of these cards in one foul swoop, and then they'll list them and take care of the shipping out to the customers for you. You don't need to worry about giving anyone your home address, and you get that extra layer of privacy and security as a seller. So that's number 3. Number 4 is high quality and consistent scans. If you're anything like me, you probably had some tough times trying to figure out how to take pictures of those Chrome cards when you're listing them on eBay. And there's some guys that just have better camera technology and they are able to take better pictures for their listings, and that puts them at an advantage over you in the marketplace. When you're submitting to COMC, everyone gets the same scan technology. You're not going to be at a disadvantage. It really levels the playing field for people if you're selling or you're submitting 100 cards, or if you're someone that's submitting 1,000 cards. So that's number 4, high quality, and consistent scans. Number 5 is easy access to pricing data. So on eBay, you can search through sold listings, and it's really not that tough to find pricing data, but COMC makes it very easy when you're going to list a card to see what the historic pricing data is, so that you can do your homework to figure out what is going to happen to the price. Is it a Gypsy Queen base card? Well, can we look at a couple Gypsy Queen base cards and see that in the first few months after release, the card does really well, but then it drops off a cliff when people upload or submit lots of versions of the same card. So that's something that you just need to keep in mind when you're going to make your submissions as well. Number 6, you get to sell your base cards without having to worry how to ship them out safely. So if I want to ship out this Marcus Simeon card and sell it on eBay, I might list it for 99 cents a piece. And if you're listing it for 99 cents, a bubble mailer is not usually the way to go. It's usually between $3.50 and $4 to ship it out. However, someone who only paid 99 cents for the card isn't going to want to pay all that in shipping fees. So a lot of times you'll spend all the time listing those cards on eBay, and then you'll have a tough time moving inventory because you want to ship the card safely and securely, but no one's really willing to pay that. There's always the plain white envelope method, but in my opinion, you're sort of rolling the dice and you're opening yourself up to negative feedback if you decide to go that route. So through COMC, you don't have to worry about shipping them safely because COMC takes care of it for you. Once you submit the cards to COMC, all you need to worry about is pricing those items. Speaking of pricing those items, number 7 is frequent promotions. So COMC runs these promotions where they either cut the fee percentage when you're running a sale on your port, or they'll give you the ability to run sales and promotions for free. It brings a lot of new eyes to your port, and it's an easy way to move additional inventory. Number 8 is easily managing lowball offers. You can set auto decline options when you're setting up your profile. It's really easy to accept or decline or counter offers. And because COMC doesn't give you the option to add a description like eBay, you don't have to go back and forth with someone who's obviously not interested and they keep lowballing you. You don't have to deal with them begging, oh, this is the last card in the set and I'm looking. Nope, just decline it. So that's number 8. Number 9 is sort of the gamification and flipping aspect that COMC has. In your profile, you can set the option to advanced reseller mode, whereby when you purchase a card, they're not going to charge you the extra 25 cents that they typically would if you were for shipping. That way you can buy a card and immediately relist it. What I've been doing on COMC is I try and find cards that don't have a lot of there aren't a lot of cards listed of a particular card on the website. And then I'll make a lowball offer to the seller and see if they accept it. So this Indigenous Heroes insert, if it was listed for $4 and it was the only one there, I might offer the seller $2. If he accepts it, I'd go and split the difference, relist this for $3.25. And you're not charged any fee until you sell it through the transaction fees. So you're not going to make $1 million overnight. This isn't going to be your primary side hustle, but it's a fun way to keep buying and selling trading cards while focusing on the website, playing around with the website. And then number 10 is probably what COMC is best known for, but it's the reduction in shipping costs. I won't go too far into the shipping cost aspect of COMC, but if you're sending your submissions in, you got one box that you send into COMC. You don't have any frills. You don't have to go out and buy top loaders, buy bubble mailers, buy team bags or anything else to make sure you ship it securely. It's usually that the cost of the box for the submission and then maybe a flat rate box to send it out. So those are the top 10 reasons to sell on COMC. But if you're getting into it, what are the top 5 tips that you should look out for? So I scoured the internet, used my personal experience of shopping on COMC and selling on COMC, and this is what I came up with. Number 1 is do your homework on which cards to sell. As I mentioned earlier, these guys are 30 cents a piece to list on COMC. So if you're not going to expect to recover 30 cents from your buyer, there is no incentive to list them. You aren't looking to lose money on every single card you make. So you got to do your homework, go through, and make sure that you can get at least what you're paying to submit the item. Along the same line is be careful if you're submitting cards that are from a new product. This Christian Yelich is from 2019 Series 1. And if I looked at the price in the end of April on this card, there might have been 1 or 2 out there. If I go jump on the website and look again, we're now in June. There's a lot more of these cards on the website. It might be half the price and under that 30-cent threshold. So just something to pay attention to. It takes a little bit of time, but very important to go through, do your homework on which cards to sell before you actually submit it. Next is watch out for your fees. So COMC also charges storage fees for items over 75 cents. So if you have this Blake Trinan card here that's selling for 87 cents a piece, you can list it for 74 cents and not have to pay the penny per month to keep it stored at the COMC facility. A penny per month does not seem like a lot, but if you're dealing with thousands of cards and you have thousands of cards listed at once, those pennies add up real quickly. The other thing is if you're submitting to COMC, it costs for them to de-top load and take out cards that are submitted in one touches or semi-rigid card savers, and those costs can also add up quickly. When you're submitting, you have to make sure to identify whether the card is from a current year set or a basic set, because incorrectly identifying which group it falls into will trigger a flat fee by COMC. I think it's $3 or something, but the more important thing is it'll push back your processing time. So instead of getting everything turned around and listed within a month, it might take 2 months. So watch out for that as well. Number 3 is cash out as least often as possible. So this one is, I think, pretty straightforward. It's really encouraging you to reinvest in the business. So you can buy cards on COMC to identify additional inventory to bring in. You can just use the proceeds of that to cut down on the upfront submission fees that you're going to incur when you're sending additional cards into COMC. But the important thing is to limit those fees on the cash outs, even though they've reduced it lately. But you don't want to be paying COMC more money than you need to. Keep the money in COMC, reinvest in your business, reinvest in yourself. So that's number 3. Number 4 is to keep an eye out for fresh inventory. It could be really easy for me to list all these 2018 and 19 cards and then not do anything else with them, which is fine. There's a lot of good cards that I have here that people will be interested in now. This is a short print Francisco Lindor from 2019 Series 1. This is a rookie Austin Meadows who's been lighting it up this year, numbered to 299. People are going to be interested in these cards now, but a year from now, 2 years from now, this inventory is going to be stale and people aren't going to necessarily be coming to my port for a base pink parallel of James Paxton from 2018 update Series 2. So what you need to do is you need to identify fresh inventory, whether that's outside of COMC or even just buying some cards that people have sold on COMC, sort of to flip things, to bring new customers to your port, your store. They're going to click on your name if you have a card listed that they want to buy, and they're going to flip through your port. And while they're there, they're going to make offers on the other cards that you have available. The only problem is if you have stale inventory, they aren't going to even bother coming to your port. So you got to pick up fresh inventory to make sure that people don't forget about you. So that's number 4. And then my final tip would be look out for pricing arbitrage. Cards can be underpriced on COMC that you could pick up and resell on eBay at a premium. So what does pricing arbitrage mean? That essentially means that because the platforms are different, and you don't have the same buyers necessarily looking in the same places, the pricing is going to be different and the opportunities there for you to pick the card up and relist it on a different platform at a higher amount. So take this Giancarlo Stanton, for example. If you could pick this card up on COMC for $2.50, and then you jump over to eBay and you see that all the comps for this card are $6 or $7, you're going to want to pick this card up on COMC, request a shipment when you have enough cards to send out, and then relist that card on eBay. This is also something that you should keep an eye out for when you're going to card shows or you're going to your local card shop, because there's a lot of these lower end inserts or lower end parallels that dealers and sellers have available that you can pick up for 10-25 cents, and then you can list on COMC for 50 cents, $1, $1.50, Mike Trout cards especially. So keep an eye out for those types of items as you frequent these places, because that's the best and easiest way to manage your inventory and pick up cards that other people are going to want to buy. So there you have it. My top 10 reasons to sell on COMC and 5 tips for sellers. Let us know down in the comments below if you have tips for people selling on COMC. And I really appreciate everyone stopping by and sticking around to the end of this video. Till next time, I'm Cardi-C, the baseball card collector.